Hey guys, welcome to Shin and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm Jess. You can find me on X at shinpad_IESR. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Honor and end of a saga. Aitana Bonmati has been presented the National Sports Award by Queen Letizia for her remarkable achievements in 2023. And honestly, deserved doesn't even begin to cover it. When you talk about modern dominance in women's football, Bonmati is at the center of this conversation. Individual brilliance paired with collective success, that's legacy type stuff, you know? So congrats to Bonmati for her achievement, and wonder what the next chapter holds for you. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, when they hear Super League. You can breathe easy now. The European Super League is officially over. Earlier last week, Barcelona decided to withdraw from the European Super League project, and later in the week, Real Madrid reached an agreement with UEFA. Translation, the Super League, dead once again. After years of drama, court cases, press releases, awkward silence, freaking just a money pit of an idea, it's done. And football survives again. And I'm going to be doing a piece later this year of explaining super leagues and really just showing this is why they could be a bad idea. Because usually when super leagues are brought up in the conversation, football fans are like cringing and they're like, no, thank you. Ugh. You know? So I'm going to be doing an article later this year about that. Be on the lookout for that. All right. See how the Champions League has been going on. Because I haven't updated you guys on the Champions League in a hot minute. That and the UEFA League. If my computer will cooperate. Sorry, guys. That is definitely still going on if you have missed it. Their last match was Friday, January the 30th. No, I think it was actually the 28th. No, the 30th was the drawings. That was their last match. Their next match is actually going to be next week, next Tuesday. Just to kind of remind you, this is still going on. The Champions League matches start back up next week, next Tuesday. Juventus is taking on Galatasaray at 10:45 Mountain, 11:45 Central. PSG is taking on Monaco at 2 o'clock Central. Real Madrid is playing Benfica at 1 o'clock Central. And Borussia Dortmund is playing Atalanta at the same time. That is next Tuesday, the 17th. And then the 18th, we've got Newcastle playing Qarabağ at 10:45 Central. That's next Tuesday, the 18th, or not next Wednesday, the 18th. Leverkusen taking on Olympiacos at 1 o'clock Central. Bodo Glimt is taking on Inter Milan at 2 o'clock Central, and Club Brugge is taking on Atleti. Same time, 1 o'clock Central. That's also Wednesday, February 18th. Because I know it's been just a little bit of time. I feel like I haven't updated you guys on this. And I mean, really, there's been nothing to update. I mean, it feels like they go long stretches without matches, And speaking of which, the Europa League, that reminder is still going on. Their matches start back up next Thursday, February the 19th. We've got G&K Dynamo taking on Genk at 11:45 Central. Okay, so there are 4 games going on at 11:45 Central. The one I just mentioned, Dynamo versus Genk, PAOK versus Celta, Brann versus Bologna, and Fenerbahce versus Nottingham Forest. There are 4 matches going on at 2 o'clock Central. Ferencváros versus Ludogorets. Panathinaikos taking on Victoria Plzeň. Lille versus Crvena Zvezda, and Celtic versus Stuttgart, all happening at 2 o'clock Central next Thursday, February the 19th. So just a reminder, if you're following any of that and you've kind of forgotten, because things have kind of been crazy in the football world lately, just a reminder. All right, let's bring it back home to the USL. This one is also just a reminder, pretty soon, in the next few years, they're going to be trying to implement the promotion relegation league. So that's going to become more popular. But a little bit more news. Atletico Dallas have appointed a new manager. They've appointed Peter Luchin as their first team manager for the 2027 season. It's a long-term planning, and clearly this is identity building, which honestly would be really great, for them to have a future goal, like a long-term plan. Sometimes it seems like all these teams they're focusing on this season, just one season at a time. No, you got to think big and you got to think long-term. Short-term is great for short-term success, but if you want long-term success, you need to be looking ahead. Speaking of looking ahead, and this is something that kind of excites me because a couple of my favorite teams, Bayern Munich, are reportedly opening an academy in California. Now, if some of you guys, you may not know, Bayern Munich is in Germany. But anyway, this was pretty big. Bayern Munich are reportedly planning to open an academy in California, leasing a space at the Chula Vista Elite Athlete Training Center. Okay. This is not for people that 20 and above players. No. Okay. The reason for this, they kind of have a little bit of a partnership with LAFC. And this academy is for players that are like under 15 and the under 17 players who aren't allowed to move to Germany yet. So Bayern bringing Germany to them. It's about securing U.S. talent early. And it's also about strengthening ties with LAFC. And of course, it's about European clubs recognizing that the American market isn't just commercial, it's developmental. So the fact that they're even considering planning on opening this academy in the States just tells you not only how much bigger football has gotten in the States, but it just tells you this is a long-term plan. And honestly, I think it's going to be amazing, you know? And it's not like they don't have academies over in Germany. I see ads all the time when I watch Bayern's game. They have like clubs and things for kids that are like 5 years old. Like these little kids, you know, they start training them and start kind of working with them at an early age over there. They're wanting to look over here now. Their sights are set on the US and securing US talent at an early age. And that is strategic. All right, keeping it kind of in the realm of the MLS, since I did kind of mention that too. This one kind of ticks me off a little bit. So, Messi has been injured. If you guys didn't see that, he has been out with left hamstring strain, and the preseason match. There's been a postponement of the preseason match against Independiente del Valle, and honestly, from what I'm reading, it just kind of seems like these two things are linked. If the postponement is in any way connected to a single player being injured, that is beyond frustrating, because you cannot continue to bend the competition structures for one player, even if it is Messi. You cannot do that. It's not right. The integrity of the schedule has to matter. You cannot keep bending the rules for these mass players, because not only does that set an unrealistic precedent for these younger players, it messes with the integrity. It messes with the integrity of whatever rules have been set in place. And it just makes it seem like FIFA and the higher ups, big overall International Football Association board, is a joke. Because it's like, why have these rules when you're just continue to bend them for other people? Even I don't care if it's Messi. Oh, it's Messi, the big critical part of the team. Okay, so there are other players. Messi is not going to be playing forever. He is going to retire. You need to be developing that younger talent instead of leaning on Messi. And if this postponement is in any way connected to Messi, it just tells you what a joke certain things about football have become. And it is frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. Anyhow, let's move on into the MLS moves. Lots still going on. The European market may be closed now. Their transfer window may be closed. MLS still doing some work. Vancouver have signed Czech Sabali from FC Metz. Sporting KC have signed defender Jaden Reed from St. Louis and defender Wyatt Meyer from Nashville. Philadelphia Union have signed Colombian defender Guillermo Martinez, and they've also signed from Boston River Augustin Anella. Minnesota have signed James Rodriguez. If I'm not mistaken, that was kind of a free agent type deal. LAFC have acquired Steven Estequito on loan from FC Porto. Orlando City have signed Iago Teodoro from Flamengo for a deal worth 1.27 million euros. And Villarreal, guys, Orlando City, they have signed Alex Freeman from Orlando City, Villarreal have, a deal worth upwards of $4 million plus around $3 million in add-ons and a sell clause. So going over to Europe, man. It's great to see. The New York Red Bulls have traded Wiki Carmona to CF Montreal or Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy. St. Louis have signed Lucas McNaughton. And speaking of CF Montreal, they have signed forward Noah Stritt from FC Basel. Real Salt Lake have signed Juan Jose Arias for a fee worth 1.7 million euros from Atlético Nacional. And they've also obtained Juan Manuel Sanabria from Atlético San Luis. The newcomers, San Diego, have signed midfielder Bryce Duke. Columbus Crew signed Marima Akunzada for 2.5 million euros. And Nashville have transferred a player out, Jonathan Perez, to Liga MX's Chivas. So I feel like there's still a lot going on. Still feel like there's a lot of moves going on. So many. Looking into comments here, retiring at the end of his current contract. I hope so. I really hope so. And this is by Apex to Asphalt. Go check it out if you guys are fans of racing. It is another one of our amazing shows here on the channel, here at the station, IE Sports Radio. Go check them out. They are on, I believe it is Monday nights. Sunday or Monday nights. Let me check. I have it written down. But I believe it is Monday nights. Another one of our amazing shows. Go check it out. All right, moving into the NWSL. What's been going on over there? Some moves going on. A few little moves. AFC have traded Claire Hutton. Traded for Claire Hutton. They've traded Kansas City Current. She's coming from Kansas City Current. And speaking of Kansas City, they have traded midfielder Croy Bethune. So Claire is going from Kansas to California, and Croy is doing vice versa. All right, couple moves going on in the NSL, the Northern Super League. Just a couple things. Oh, wait. I did miss one, just real quick from the NWSL. Denver Summit have named Nick Cushing as their new head coach, so amazingness. I hope he's good. I remember him announcing him as a new coach for a different team last year. I can't remember where he was from. He's a decorated English manager. He was the head coach for NYCFC from 22-24, posting a 40 wins, 40 losses, and 27 draws record. And he's also been a highly successful manager for Manchester City Women's from 2013 to 2020. So expecting great things from Nick Cushing. Like I said, I mean, it's going to be a great season. It's going to be an amazing season. Absolutely amazing season. Got that update Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Go check it out, guys. If you guys are any fans of racing, they cover it all, guys. Go check it out. Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, covering a little bit of the NSL moves going on. Just a couple moves that I've seen, not too many. Of course, really wouldn't expect it too much. Mia Pante has signed with Vancouver Rise on loan from AS Roma, where she had 15 appearances, 2 assists, and 5 Champions League matches. So, expecting great things. And Julie Peterson has joined the Halifax Tides. Roll Tide. Sorry, different football. Different football college. But anyway, guys, you can watch Shin and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio. We're going to take a very short break. We are your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll see you guys after the break.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
All right, guys, welcome back to Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, looking at the Premier League, as you can see, we're going to be talking Manchester City. Yeah. Positive news, though, still not any word on the 115 charges, but this past week, City have beaten Liverpool both at home and away in the same season. And why is this such a shocker? Why is this such newsworthy? Because this is the first time this has happened since 1937. That is not just a stat, guys. That is absolute dominance. Even though I did think it was a little bit lucky. They leveled it out in stoppage time, and then with a penalty kick, and then one of their goals was disallowed. It was going to be 3-1, but that last goal was kind of disallowed. I think it was the one that just kind of rolled its way into, like, it just casually rolled its way into the net. So, but they're showing the title race is not over yet. Of course, that also puts Liverpool's manager in the hot seat. Of course, he's been in the hot seat for a little bit, but this just kind of puts the nail on the head for that. Reports are saying that Arne Slot will be given until the end of the season before they reassess the long-term goals for this. Translation, pressure's mounting. That seat's getting warm, man. If they had heated seats in stadiums, that butt crack be melting together. That's how hot it's getting for Arne Slot right now. Anyway. Yeah. Management, man. There is a managerial crisis, it seems like, over in Europe right now. It really does. It just seems like they're wanting instant results, you know? It's not a microwave. It can't be instant. Speaking of managerial stuff, let's look at Tottenham's situation for a minute. Oh, well, let's look at the sackings because Tottenham's in this. More managerial sackings. Yeah, so Thomas Frank has been sacked. He was sacked, what was it, yesterday? I believe he was sacked yesterday. Worst win rate being 26.9%. So that will mean, yeah, crazy. Sean Dyche has also been sacked. Nottingham Forest are now on their this is their third manager season. So they're about to be on their fourth manager. And I am just like, what in the world is going on here? Like, is the owner just not happy or what? I don't even know what's going on, you know? It just kind of feels like, I think I've heard pundits say something about the managers, or not the managers, the owners of clubs, and how talking about Nottingham Forest's owner being a little dramatic. And they're like, most owners you don't hear from. You don't hear from the owner of City. You don't hear from the owner of Liverpool or Arsenal, but yet you're continuously hearing from, like, he wants to be in media. Like, he wants to be on camera kind of thing. I don't know. And regarding the Spurs, Roberto De Zerbi is reportedly open to joining the Spurs after he left, I believe it was Marseille, just this last week. So it's just the managerial carousel just keeps on spinning. And like you see down there, you can read more about the managerial crisis. I did write a piece about this last month. Check it out on iesportsradio.com. You can find the blog. Because this has just been a pattern that is just repeating over and over and over. There have been like 6-7 managers that have already been sacked this season. And going into Tottenham's situation, yeah, not only are they having issues with the manager, so there's like a whole like hospital ward going on here, situation going on here, because they've got, I think, 14 players that were out for their last match. On the injury list, we've got Van de Ven, Poro, Davies, Ben Cantor, Bergvall, Kolosevsky, Madison, Kudus, and Charlison. And on the ineligible list, Dragusin, Souza, Besuma, Gallagher, and Tell. That's not a squad, dude. That is a hospital ward, you know? This is, yeah. It's, yeah, crazy. I mean, the ineligible ones, I mean, it's like, And if you guys aren't sure what ineligible players are, it's individuals that have been disqualified from participating because of reasons like suspension, incomplete registration, or not being on the official match roster. So, yeah, that's just a what the heck is going on with the Spurs. I don't even know where they're gonna. They could definitely be relegated this season. Definitely. I mean, for now, they're clear of relegation. Them and Nottingham Forest are skating on thin ice right now. To kind of link it a little bit to the Winter Olympics, since that's been going on. But, I mean, they're, yeah. And speaking of which, of razor thin ice, the EFL, going into the EFL Championship, Leicester City have been deducted 6 points for financial breaches because of financial for their spending, and they're only safe from a relegation right now by goal difference, only by goal difference at this point. That's it. That is absolutely it. You know. That's razor thin, you know. One thing I forget to mention for the Premier League, Everton, guys, Jack Grealish will be out for the season. He just can't seem to catch a break, I guess. His season is over because he fractured his foot. And in the 1,600 minutes that he's played, he's gotten 2 goals and 6 assists. Injuries derail momentum all the time, simple as that, and it just sucks. You know, it makes me think, what is he going to be like next season? Right now, technically, he's still on a loan to Everton from City. So we will see what ends up happening, because I have no idea. Let's move over into the ladies. The ladies over there. The Premier League wins. Chelsea's head coach has decided to extend through 2030. And honestly, I think that's great, you know, because all these managerial changes that you see, it creates instability. It creates a lack of, they can't really build that trust that they need to. And each manager seems to want a different way they want to arrange the players, a different tactics, and it just creates so much instability that it's not sustainable long term. It's not. But this Chelsea women's stay with their head coach through the next 4 years at this point, that is stability. That's investment, and that is long-term vision. I see major success with this. Major success. Moving a little bit into the La Liga, talking Barcelona, Joan Laporta has resigned as president of FC Barcelona. You guys didn't hear that. And whenever that happens, you better be expecting turbulence, man, because it's hard to tell. You know, it's hard to tell what's going to end up happening. I mean, things could go this way, they could go that way. You don't know, you know? And one last thing before we head into our final break, before we end it, into the Saudi Pro League. I did mention last week that Ronaldo was not playing because he was protesting. Well, he's back in action. He's back in action, guys. Some of you are like, yay, and I'm just like, dude, this is another one of those cases where it just seems like they're catering to big, massive players. And I'm like, dude, no, this is not okay. And the only reason he's back to playing is because some of his demands have been met, which I still don't think is okay. I still think it's absolutely ridiculous that a man was having a freaking tantrum because he wasn't getting his way. And football is dramatic, dude. It is. Football will always be dramatic. He just takes it to another level. But he is back in action after being on strike for 2 matches. Craziness. All right. Anyway, guys, I've been watching Shin and Shenanigans right here on Esports Radio, your feed for all that is sports. We'll see you guys after the break.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, guys, welcome back to Shin and Shenanigans right on Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, we're going to be looking at the standings as our final segment. Looking at the Premier League, we've got Arsenal sitting at the top with 57 points. They are to play, their next match is against the bottom of the barrel, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, you're probably going to lose again. And they still don't have double-digit points. Wolves. Second place, we've got Man City with 53 points. They are set to play Newcastle next. And we've got Aston Villa at number 3 with 50 points. They are set to play Leeds. Man United sit at number 4. And unfortunately for Frank, the United Strand guy, he is still without a haircut. They have 4 wins and a draw in their last 5 matches. They are set to play Everton. Number 5 is Chelsea with 44 points. They are set to play Burnley, who are sitting in the relegation zone, along with the Wolves. Liverpool are number 6 with 42 points. They are set to play Nottingham Forest, who I think probably should be in the relegation zone. Get your crap together. Brentford at number 7. They are set to play Brighton next. And then Everton is sitting at number 8 with 37 points. Followed by Bournemouth at number 9, also 37 points. They are set to play West Ham, who are also in the relegation zone. How the might have fallen. Newcastle United at number 10 with 36 points, followed by Sunderland, also with 36 points, and they are set to play number 12, Fulham, are at 34 points. Crystal Palace at 13 with 32 points. Well, this is an interesting kick. This is interesting. Okay, Crystal Palace, their next match is against the Wolves, and you heard that right. You heard that right. They are also set to play the Wolves next. It confused me for a second there. So on the 18th, next Wednesday, Arsenal is set to play the Wolves. And then the following week, on February 22nd, I guess Crystal Palace doesn't play until next week, February 22nd. That's a Sunday. And that's when they will play the Wolves. Just to clarify. Brighton are at number 14 with 31 points. They are set to play Brentford. Leeds United at number 15 with 30 points. Followed by Tottenham Hotspurs, which are not so hot right now, number 16 with 29 points. And they're set to play Arsenal next. So it's going to probably be a little bit before they play next. Nottingham Forest is at number 17 with 27 points, followed by West Ham at number 18 with 24 points. Then Burnley with 18 points, and all the way down the bottom, over halfway through the season, still with not double-digit points, the Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have 9 points. Most certainly, they are going to be relegated. Sucks for you guys. Moving over into Serie A, we have got, and of course, are we really surprised at the top 5? Inter Milan, followed by AC Milan in the number 1 and number 2 spots. Then Napoli at number 3, followed by Juventus at number 4. Then Roma. Atalanta is in number 7. Bologna at number 10. And all the way down at the bottom, we have got Verona. Verona and Pisa seem to go back and forth who's actually at the bottom. Yep. And finally, moving over into the Bundesliga, we have got Bayern Munich sitting at the top spot with 54 points, followed by Borussia Dortmund at number 2 with 48 points. Then Hoffenheim at number 3 with 42 points. Then RB Leipzig at number 4 with 39 points. Stuttgart at number 5 with 39 points, followed by Leverkusen. Then Freiburg at number 7. Frankfurt is sitting at number 8, and these are probably going to be how things are going to be for the rest of the season. FC Union Berlin, who I think I saw they still hadn't had a win this season. That can't be right. Brain skis is tricking me. Cologne at number 10, followed by Hamburg, then Gladbach, then Augsburg, and all the way down at the bottom, Heidenheim. At least Heidenheim is doing a little better. Just a little better. They have 13 points. So at least they're in the double digits. All right, guys. If you guys ever want to be on the show or want to just like talk directly with me about this beautiful game we call football, you can join the conversation on Band. Send us a DM either on TikTok, or you can just find us on one of our social medias, send us a DM, and we can send you an invite to join the conversation on Band. And you could even potentially be on the show, because, I mean, I'm just talking to myself here, guys. So would love to just go back and forth with somebody. So try to send us a DM. Maybe, most likely, you'll be able to come onto the show. So until next time, keep those shin pads sharp and your shenanigans sound. You've been watching IE Sports Radio, Shin Pads and Shenanigans, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. See you guys later.